How are you guys feeling after that wave of energy on October 30th? When I made my video 2 days ago, right before the tow truck came to get my van, I was feeling like so giddy and so just like really in that energy. I even got emotional thinking about Three Eye Atlas and like the consciousness within Three Eye Atlas and how it's like our star family, like a collection of our star families coming to visit us. I think that many of you guys have probably been through lifetimes and visits of, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, all these different star systems. You probably made connections throughout all of them. And so what it was feeling like with the event of like the big energy surge on the 30th, 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, it was feeling like they were coming and saying like, we're here for you, we're gonna help you now, you're not alone in this mission anymore. Like, we sent you down so that you could do your job up until this point. You went through all those hard things, all those voids, all those dark nights of the soul, so that you could like really be this version of you, like the earth emissary, almost like the earth, uh what's the right word? You're the little, you're the, not the little, but like you're like the earth vessel of all the information that they're helping with. But they're here for support now because like the time is now, is what I keep hearing. And I've been hearing that for 2 years now, ever since I came to Europe and started this travel. Also, hello, I'm here in Ireland in this house while my van's getting worked on. We don't know. I don't know any updates yet, but I will let you know, and then we'll see when I head back to Italy and the route that I take and everything. That is all to be determined, but life is catapulting me in a new timeline, which is to be expected with this sleep hypnosis. As soon as I started doing my sleep hypnosis using my own voice, literally, completely different physical appearance, feeling completely different, energy shifted, felt like an alien in my reality, and got the physical symptoms, the ascension symptoms. Technology started majorly glitching when I launched the program for you guys to do it, to teach you exactly how to use your voice in the sleep hypnosis and do it for yourself. There was an internet outage of 60% of the internet was like crashed that day. So I fixed the program so it's not glitching anymore. I did a different way of hosting it through YouTube videos in the course. So if you want to sign up for that, it's linked in my bio. I still have it on sale because I just love how many people are getting access to it, because someone had made that comment, a woman from Ireland who had said that she was a single mom and that she really wanted to do it but couldn't afford it. And I was like, you know what? That matters so much more, because I think it was just very synchronistic. Like, my parents were divorced, single mom, single dad from Ireland. My dad's from Ireland. So I was like, okay, this is my sign. And as soon as I did that, that's when the internet outage was. That's when hundreds of you guys have signed up for the program. And so it's super powerful. And so, yeah, being catapulted now into the new timeline after the ascension symptoms ended. And I'm like, okay, I'm in that like final little birthing canal of like, I know I'm in the new, I'm in that transition period. I just don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And it's so synchronistic with what's happening on Earth right now. And so it felt like a visit from our family, really. And I keep hearing as well, I heard this a lot on my walk yesterday. I walked in like the most beautiful forest walk, but like the sun was like peeking out through the falling leaves and being like, hi, hi. And the sun, we've been talking about this, but Three Eye Atlas passed by the sun during the new moon, like right behind the sun in regards to us. So it was like behind the sun from us. While the moon was there, we were in a perfect line. And at that point, it was, people were feeling into it, and this really resonated with me. That's why I made a guided meditation on my YouTube for this, but that the sun was then upgraded with codes for us to receive through the sunlight, whether you're in the sun or you can do meditations into the sun. So it just felt like the sun was kind of like dancing with me through the trees yesterday, but I just kept hearing the beginning and the end. And so I think a lot of you are in this transition period that I was just talking about, of like, it's ended. Like, for me, my van's gone. My van's no longer in the hay shed. I've been living in this hay shed for months now, on my family farm. And because we pulled it out, like, there's no pulling it back in. So it's the end. And this is also the beginning. But in the very beginning, you don't know. Like, when you're just born, like, you don't know anything yet. You're just a baby. Like, you're just there. And you're just relying on, on the divine feminine and the divine masculine to hold you and take care of you. And a part of you the soul within you is trusting that you are going to grow up and learn the things that you need to learn in order to fulfill your mission and your purpose here on earth. And so that's what I feel for the collective that is here in this video right now with me. We are so connected, and so many of us are going through the same things. And so I feel that like you're just a little baby now. Like you just like you're either out of the birthing canal or you're about to be out of the birthing canal. Maybe you're still hooked up to the umbilical cord, like you're not fully separate yet from where you just were being hatched or birthed, made. And what comes with that is also, I think I need to touch on, like when you are put into a new environment, like I'm seeing, if you guys have gone down like the conspiracies of time travel and how there's like a few maybe accounts of people who you can see photos and they just look like they're from either like the past or they look like they're from the future, and it's like a really old photo and they're like in this like really old photo, but it's like it looked like they time traveled there. And there's more details of how it's like it's fact but I don't know the truth of anything, but I feel that it's very true. And so why was I seeing that? Okay, this is why this came through. So imagine you're like that person who just, you know, your bestie just discovered time travel and they're like, hey, come over, like, let me show you my time travel machine. And you're like, oh, cool, what's this doing? And you're like catapulted into like a completely different century. And you're like, shit. You're like standing in the streets with all these people and you're like, oh my God, what does this mean for me? Because I'm not from here. I am completely different than the surrounding here. And you come with like, you're from the future, right? And so you went backwards and you're just like, oh my gosh, when they find out that I'm different, like what's that? What's going to happen with that? And like, how is that going to look? And what questions are they going to have for me? And what's going to be my purpose? And how do I get back? And do I get back? And like all these things. You feel what I sense in this very interesting visual is that it feels very raw. Like it feels very vulnerable. It feels like only women will really understand this, and maybe not all women, but I remember when I was in high school, I just started becoming a woman and I had like boobs coming in. I just remember feeling like so uncomfortable. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, I don't know how to hold myself yet because it's so new to be in that physical form. This is so interesting. And so when you're in this new timeline that you're being birthed into, it might feel like that for a little bit as you get used to this new world and this new life and this new timeline. Really, like if you were time traveling, you like accidentally touch your friend's time travel machine, you get sent in that other timeline. You have to get used to it. But after, you know, a few days, few weeks, for sure after a few months, you get used to it. It's not so uncomfortable. You're not thinking about all those worries that you first had when you arrived in the new timeline, and your subconscious, your nervous system starts to regulate into it. And so with all these shifts going on in the world, I don't think that there's any turning back. I think it's like we're all kind of accidentally touching the time machine with the bursts of energy that are coming to the planet. I think that, you know, it's so wild how many synchronicities there were with everything that happened with the Charlie Kirk death. And like, it's nothing about him. It's not about any of that. It's not about politics or anything like that. It's about the split that happened at that time. And I think that that was, you know, cosmically, divinely orchestrated. I think his soul agreed to that on some level. I think that we all plan how we exit Earth before we come onto the planet. And so I feel that that's what was agreed to. And I think that that was a very powerful time because it just shook up consciousness and it created this awakening. Many of you guys already know this. And so now with these like booms, these solar flares, these upgrades, this 3i Atlas, all the stuff coming through, there's no turning back. We've touched the time machine. And so what happened the other day with that energy that was coming through when I made the video, it was emotional. It was like family. It was, you know, it really felt like giddy. I turned the camera off, My van got towed away. And then I felt there's a specific way that I feel that I used to feel when I would be around mold. And so a lot of my journey, the reason why I'm this version of myself is because of my soul agreements, my karmic lessons, little throat block maybe, uh, of going through chronic illness. And so my chronic illness looked like Lyme disease, it looked like mold illness, and I, from that, developed chronic inflammatory response syndrome, mast cell activation syndrome, all these word things, these human words to identify that. What it felt like was when I would go into a room or be around somebody who was around mold or a room that has mold, I would get very disoriented. Like I would not be able to really see straight. It would be like my focus would be like zooming in and zooming out. Like it was just like, it was like my mind was like zooming in and zooming out. That's a really, I've never explained it like that, but that's like the most accurate way of explaining it. It's like hard to see, it's hard to function, it's hard. Sorry, my camera died. What I was saying was that it was hard to read, hard to think, hard to function. And that specific, like, it's like also like depersonalization, just like very, very disassociated, disoriented. That was happening right after my van was towed away. I was like, oh my gosh, is this the wave of energy? At first I was like, oh, it's going to be so nice and positive and fun and giddy and lovey and emotional. And then I was like, boom, boom shakalaka, like we were saying in the last video from Stefan, the boom shakalaka guy. So I was like, okay, well, this makes sense because it was like 10 times the amount of energy that we normally feel from like Earth's resonance and the Schumann resonance versus the energy that was coming in. It was like 7 versus 70 ish around there. And so yeah, that was very intense. But then the next day I woke up just fine. Yesterday I woke up just fine. And now I feel just very like in anticipation. And so I'm very, very, very curious what you guys are feeling and how you felt on the 30th. If you noticed anything, I saw some, like, I read all your comments, but I saw a comment saying like you were tired and that you're feeling it intensely. Up until that point, I'm not an irritable person. I'm not I'm not an irritable, angry person. But there were a few days where my irritability like sky high. Like I've never felt that irritable in my entire life. Everything. And at least I had the awareness so I could just like watch my thoughts be irritated. But it's so funny because I was like an Irish monk. Like I was just by myself really on the farm, walking around the fields, just like and so my awareness was just like, it's fascinating. So that was something, and I've seen a lot of people say that those be Ascension symptoms. And then the weird sleep, and I increased my magnesium biglycinate, and that has helped a lot with sleep. In the sleep hypnosis, I talk about not doing melatonin at nighttime if possible, if it's not like a doctor recommended thing. But that and weed and alcohol and like other things that affect your sleep cycles, because with all, I think even without the sleep hypnosis program, like I think our brain chemistry is changing with all these upgrades coming to Earth. And so your brain waves are, kind of recalibrating to this new energy and getting like software updates. And so in general, I think it's really a great time to consider not consuming things that will affect your sleep cycles. So that's why I chose to do magnesium, or to add more magnesium. That's actually helped a lot with the insomnia that I was experiencing, which I don't normally experience insomnia. So the energies are intense at this moment, and I think that for the next few months they're only going to get more intense, especially with, the veil being thinnest in November, December having more major upgrade kind of things around like December 19th and all these specific dates. I don't have all of them, but I know the 19th was one where we're going to get more of those booms and waves and upgrades. And then 2026, baby. I think like whatever it is that you're calling in is really going to be manifested quicker than ever before. And like we were saying in 2 videos ago, like when it happens, it is shocking. Like when you touch the time machine and you are catapulted into that new timeline, it is shocking. And when the things start actually, becoming part of your perceived reality, the nervous system, the subconscious will be like, no, no, alert, 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 alert. Like, this isn't safe. This isn't safe. Or it will be like, the ego will sneak in and the ego will be like, haha, I'm so valuable now. I'm so worthy now. I'm so special now. The awareness, right? Just like me when I was like, in my irritability, awareness of it all. Awareness is what alchemizes it. And so you're not going to be able to stop that process. Like, that is just part of being human. Like, we can't stop the ego. We can't stop the subconscious from doing its job of trying to keep you safe and in the familiar timeline. And so as the manifestations start rapidly increasing, then I think one of the most important things that you can be doing is staying in awareness, staying the observer, staying non-attached. Remember that you are worthy, even if you're living in a little hut in the middle of nowhere. Like, you don't need any of your manifestations. When your manifestations become your perceived reality, it's just something you get to experience and you get to enjoy and you get to, have as part of the human journey, but it has nothing to do with your value. Your value is infinite. Your value is unconditional. Your value is the essence of God, right? And so nothing can compare to that. And in that state, when you prime yourself in that state, then you continue to hold the door open for all those manifestations that want to come into your life, that you've been building up for your entire lifetime, like Abraham Hicks talks about with the vortex. Every time you experience something that you didn't want, you created what you do want, and it's all in your vortex ready to come in. You just have to hold the door open. You hold the door open by being in that non-attached state, by being aware of all these concepts of the nervous system, the subconscious, the ego, and also knowing that it's going to happen rapidly, 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 touching the time machine and getting catapulted into a new timeline, knowing that it might be really uncomfortable. You might feel like you just got boobs for the first time, and you will adjust, right? And so I think that all that is the message for really preparing you for what's about to happen. And like we talked about in the last video, the Dolores Cannon message that I had seen was that someone said that from her work, is that if you're seeing videos like these, like mine, not just the topic of Three Eye Atlas, not just like this specific niche topic, but like if you're really like tapped into the fact that the new earth is even a thing, there are so many people, millions and millions and millions of people who have no idea about New Earth or 5D or any of that stuff, right? And so if you're tapped into that, that means that you are a vibrational match. You are on that journey of that part of Ascension. The Law of One talks about how that's what we're doing here, is we're just on that journey of Ascension. We're moving through the octaves of Ascension. And so Earth itself is moving through that Ascension journey, and that we potentially chose to come here for this specific moment on Earth. And this specific moment on Earth, I feel, is happening right now in this perceived reality collectively. So it's a very exciting time. Take care of yourself. Hold on to all the information in this and just know that that is what you could be expecting. It's normal. A lot of us are experiencing it. If you're feeling off, if you're feeling weird, if you're feeling vulnerable, if you're feeling like you just like got thrown into a time machine, that's normal. You're not going crazy. So I love you guys so much. If you want to join the sleep hypnosis, it is linked in my description and still on sale. And I'm so excited to see you in there. I also have my other programs, my 21-day programs, 21 days to rewire your mind, which works on rewiring your mind, doing steps like brain retraining, brain rewiring for 21 days, 21 days to know your divine guidance, which teaches you how to communicate with the divine, with your higher self, with your intuition, with your angels and guides, opening up to that communication that everybody has differently. Some people hear, some people feel, some people know, some people, sense. And so it's all different, the way that we communicate with the divine. And then I have 21 days to wildly wealthy, heals the wealth wound, which is really just your worthiness wound. 21 days to regulate, which is all about chronic illness and brain retraining and how I healed that experience that I had. Like, I would never be able to just stay in another house like this. I was house ridden. I could not leave my home. I could not have guests over. That's how sensitive I was. And so I put how I healed into a brain retraining course in 21 days to regulate, healed. And then 21 days to acne free, because that was my big journey too. It was acne. And I think that's it. I think that's all and then Decondition, which is my 12-week program. So I invite you to whichever. Love you so much. My doggies love you guys. They're finally calm. Duchess is under the pillows over there. Aslan has been, I'll leave you with this very important bit of information. Aslan, my Kangal puppy. He's 8 months old. Because I've been stranded in the void in Ireland for the past 4 months, living in a hay shed in my van, my tent, glamping tent, and because we've been in that situation for so long, I haven't like left him. We've been together all day, every day. His separation anxiety is gnarly. It's pretty gnarly right now. I can't even leave this bedroom to go into the kitchen with him in here without him freaking out. He peed on the bed. He was playing tug of war with the blanket, with my stuff, with Arlo. Arlo's like, he's a very well-trained dog, but with a puppy, he's just like, sure, like, you want to play tug of war with mom's stuff? And so, yeah, that really, I think, is also just something that is happening to push me towards what it is that I want to move towards and create and at the end of this birthing phase. And so I think I need some more structure for his longevity, like his life, and for my freedom. It's really important to nip separation anxiety in the butt. And so more crate training. I slacked on crate training just because I was like, well, I'm not, I don't know, I made excuses. And so I'm going to really, really get down on that so that I can have more of a normal life. I still want to have my wild life, my wild and free, but like having a shower, like a hot shower indoors, luxurious. It's like the little things. Like this all happened for a reason. I just went on the walk that I was talking about. When I first got here to Ireland, I could not do that. My ankle was so injured from my accident with Ladybug, my horse. And so I have gratitude just for walking, gratitude just for showering. Like it's completely different. And now it has given me clarity on what I want next. So stay tuned. I will figure it out. The universe will guide me to it, and I will share it with you guys as we go on this journey together. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video.